Morning. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Valley Cafe, Chef Anthony Noble back with us. Morning, Chef.
Morning. How's it going?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good.
First off, thank you for bringing food. That was awesome. You brought some of your breakfast burritos, and I've been talking about the cordon bleu soup. I'm a big cordon bleu fan. I love chicken cordon bleu. I mean, I love the product of the cordon bleu schools. We put out some good chefs. But I mean, as far as when people think of chicken cordon bleu, and I love that. If I'm not eating seafood, I love that one. So you guys have a soup, which I've been anxious to try.
Yeah.
So thank you for bringing that in
no
to
problem.
try here. So I know we talked before when you guys first opened up and everything here. So I got to ask, so you've been open, about a month, 2 months now?
We're going on 3 months.
3 months now.
Next week.
Yeah, time is flying.
Yeah.
How's the first 3 months of business been for you?
Going
guys?
great. Slowly getting busier. Word of mouth's getting out. Everyone's hearing about us. So
Good.
lunches are starting to be real big. We're trying to draw a bigger breakfast crowd.
Good deal. Which, yeah, by the way, you guys serve breakfast and lunch Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And it's great. It works out perfect. Like if you're at that end of town on your way to work, you want to come through, grab a cup of coffee and a burrito. You know, if you get in and out because you got to get to work, no problem. Or if you got a little time, want to sit down and enjoy it, no problem.
Yeah.
But then come by for lunch, and then like kids when they get out of school. You guys are open for a little bit after that. If they want to come by, maybe get some poppers or a snack, maybe a bowl of soup or burrito, whatever.
Absolutely,
They can get that done too. And you're at a great place there because it's right there at Church on the Move. It's the 180 Youth Building, right?
Yeah, it's right across the street, the orange and black building.
Right there on the campus of the Church on the Move property. Can't miss it. So, and what time do you guys open up in the morning?
7 a.m.
7 a.m. So on your way to work or whatever, swing by, and you're up until 2?
3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Yeah.
3 p.m. During the week.
And we also DoorDash if you find yourself stuck at work.
Excellent.
DoorDash
And they'll
it.
bring it right to you, or if you're like me, that's what I live at the north end, so I'm not down at the south end, and then by the time I think about it, it's too
Right.
late. So
Yeah.
I need to do the DoorDash thing, but we figured it out. I got to get a colonoscopy sometime next week. I'll find out today. And so my after surgery meal will be a trip to the Valley Cafe. That's going to be my.
We'll expect you.
I know you're a young man, so you haven't worried about the colonoscopies yet. But when
Not
you get to
quite.
that part, they make you starve you for a day, and then after the surgery, you're usually pretty hungry, and they tell you go eat what you want, eat your favorite thing or whatever. So we'll come by the Valley Cafe.
All righty.
That'll be my plan there. So if you see a guy walking slow, just kidding.
Sounds good.
So let's talk menu here. I know we talked a little bit about before, but for people that are just learning about it here, you got a breakfast burritos, things like that in the morning. But you do burgers, soup, sandwiches. You got a gamut of food offerings.
Yeah, we do salads as well. We have a turkey sandwich, we have a ham sandwich, we also have a chicken, and then we have a couple different types of burgers that you can't really find in town. I make my own barbecue sauce. It's a honey jalapeno bacon barbecue.
Nice.
And that goes on a sweet and spicy. It has a onion ring, jalapeno poppers, the barbecue sauce, and then pepper jack.
Nice.
We also do fried avocado burgers.
Ooh.
So those are very popular.
So you can get the fried avocados by themselves.
Yeah, we
but
have
if you want to add them to as a burger, I imagine that burger's pretty tall.
Yeah, they're all pretty tall. And then, of course, we have just the regular plain burger, and then you can kind of build it yourself. if
Sure,
you'd like.
build your own if you get your own toppings and
Yeah.
things, or just let Chef here just kind of pick what he thinks would be a
Right.
good pairing here. I'm kind of curious when you come up with like your own sauces and things like that. Is it a lot of trial and error? I mean, how long do you take before you're like that? Like, because I imagine you get close and you add this, like that's pretty good. But I mean,
Yeah.
how long does that process take till you're finally like, that's the final product. That's how I make the sauce.
It depends on if you're good at knowing your spices and stuff. You kind of know how those flavors taste. So if
gotcha.
you make it once and you're like, wow, that's too sweet, too salty, you can cut back what you need.
Gotcha.
And add what you want. So maybe 2 or 3 tries if you're good enough, you
Sure.
can get it done.
I imagine that's really any time when we're talking chefs and being a chef. We talk about food, and a lot of us cook home and whatever. And I'm all right at cooking thing, but that's really what separates a chef from just a home cook. Is that really you have to be almost like a flavor. You have to have like a flavor encyclopedia. You got to know how foods taste like. You got to and have an understanding of what when you apply heat to it, or when you apply ice to it, or when you apply.
Yeah.
You got to know what that food's going to do when those things happen. And
True.
so that's really the science side. I mean, between chef cooking and just making dinner for your kids at home or
Yeah.
something. You really, and like when you get to that level, when you watch like Chef Gordon Ramsay and those guys on TV that do the big 4-star and Michelin restaurants and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, that's the devil's in the details there, because those people are like, well, not only do they know common ingredients, but even more exotic ones, and know how those work and how they pair. And a lot of us can have fun just trying it and see what works and see what doesn't work, but sometimes you don't get that luxury at that level of cooking and things.
Right.
So I'm just curious, how much of it's science versus how much of it's just winging it and see what comes out of it.
Well, it's kind of both. I would
Yeah.
say about equal.
Okay.
So you got to know when to simmer stuff, and you can't just have a full flame and stuff like that. You know what
Sure.
I mean? And then a lot of it's you wing it, and then you're like, wow, that tastes good. I'm
Sure.
gonna do that. You know?
I would imagine, because I'm one of those ones that I like cooking. I'm not necessarily great at cooking. I don't miss meals. You know what I mean? But
Right.
but I understand the talent that requires, and the patience. Like I've learned that I think you almost have to be more patient to be a good chef. And what I mean by that is just for the very thing you just said there with the heat. Like most people want to crank it up on high and you get it cooked, and like, well, you want something, you're going to burn the outside and the inside going to be free.
Exactly.
But that you almost have to burn a bunch of stuff to figure it out. Where as a chef, you have to have that patience, because you're ready for it to be ready now, but you're like, look, if I pull this sauce off right now, it's going to totally curdle it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's, especially when you get in some of the more difficult sauce holidays, for instance, which you probably deal with a lot, when some of your fairs and things, to make homemade holiday sauce, it's a lot of timing and a lot of flipping and folding it just right, and really a little not stirring it right, or not having the heat at the
You
right
gotta
levels.
slowly add the butter to that stuff.
It
and
turns that holiday sauce from great to
it'll
real
just
quick.
break. Yeah.
Yeah.
The oil separate, and it just doesn't work out.
Yeah,
after that,
and that's where being a chef comes in, is knowing, rest of us just buy the McCormick pack at the store
Yeah.
and add milk or whatever.
Add milk and salt, and you're good to go.
Yeah, but in reality, that's to make it to that area. That's where the chef comes in. So obviously that's what we want to also, you're doing homemade ingredients and everything, fresh made, food items, things like that. That's something that I think's great, and we're starting to see more and more of in restaurants and things now, where we have the fast food world where everything's trying to get it to you quick, and you're kind of in that world, but it's like, yeah, we obviously don't want people waiting hours for food, but at the same time, people are ready to appreciate the fact that it takes to get real food, good food. It takes time to make that and to make it right, and there is a difference in the taste between something fast food, and just burgers. I mean, take any fast food burger and then take one of your homemade burgers. I don't care which one it is, and pound for pound, that thing's going to be 10 times tastier because
Absolutely.
of the time, the effort, the attention to detail that gets put into that crafted sandwich. That's the difference between eating and and dining.
Right.
So I got to ask, what's your go-to? Like, if you could have one dish on your menu and eat that for, like, say, a week and nothing else, what would that be for you?
Well, my wife, we actually just updated the menu, and we added 2 things to it because they got so popular online.
Okay.
And my wife she came up with 2 things, but one of them was the jamwich.
Okay.
And she makes her own jalapeno pineapple jam.
Oh,
So on
interesting.
this sandwich, it's a ham, and then it's grilled onions, grilled jalapenos, bacon, and Swiss, and then we use the jalapeno jam as the spread. kinda like the
Nice.
mayo. And
That's
it's
kind of like almost like a grilled cheese on steroids a little
Basically.
bit. That's kind of the feeling. You get the sweet, the heat, meat,
yeah.
obviously.
And we're doing that online and on DoorDash only, and it blew up so big that we just threw it on.
Now it's part of the regular menu.
Yeah.
Do you guys still have like DoorDash exclusive sandwiches, or is it a full menu on all?
There's a couple on there. I think we do a green chili patty melt's one of them,
Okay.
and couldn't tell you the other one.
Okay.
We might have actually added that one to the menu.
So really, then the onus on us here is come in and dine in, but give that DoorDash a try and try some of those exclusive DoorDash or online only offerings there. And,
Yeah.
And again, like you said, if they get popular enough, then you're going to force Anthony here to put them on the regular menu. Like
Exactly, depending on the prep time.
Sure.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, but that's a real thing. I mean,
Yeah.
most of us thinking, oh, I just want to put tasty food on, but there's more to that in running a restaurant. You're looking at every plate, what that plate cost you to make
Right.
versus what you can sell it legitimately here and get a fair value for it and things like that. So you look at things like, sure, I'd love to do a Wagyu beef thing, but who's going to pay $40 for it or whatever? You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So
Yeah.
you have to kind of see where people, what you're willing to pay and because I imagine there's times you probably want to get a little exotic with some different, meats and things, but
Yeah.
it just depends on what you like it and other people like it, but will it catch on enough to it's something that you
Right.
can keep
And prices are fluctuating so much right now.
I would imagine that. How much of that? I've got it. Just curiosity with you running a business here. How much of that's I mean, for you learning on the fly versus, that side of it, because I'm thinking if someone's new to the restaurant business, this last 3 years of COVID is probably the most god awful time to try to start a restaurant. You know what I mean? Just because supply, demand, employment, all those issues there, but you pull it off, obviously. And so I'm kind of curious, was there a learning curve there on trying to finagle, what's tried and true before COVID isn't today, and creating a restaurant from the ground up through that? Man, that was an added wrinkle that some restaurants haven't had to deal with.
Right. Well, luckily, I learned a lot at Cattle Baron when I was there.
Okay.
So I learned what to order, what to look for as far as looking at a catalog on the order guide and stuff.
Sure.
So you can find different stuff that is either cheaper, but you don't want to go too cheap where the quality is affected. So, and then if prices bump up, you just got to kind of work with it.
Sure.
And then
did that impact what you wanted to offer sometimes? Like, where there's dishes that you were saying, I'd really love to do this, but supply and demand just really limited you on your ability to offer that?
Not yet, because
Okay.
luckily we don't deal with steaks and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Those have gone way up, or brisket.
Yeah, I would imagine,
Brisket
yeah.
used to be very cheap. Now it's top dollar to even get a couple pounds of that stuff.
Yeah, anybody notice if you tried to buy a half pound of biscuit or from a barbecue vendor or something, notice why it's very expensive.
And there's
That's
a
why.
reason too, but
Sure. Well, and that's something, and I think a lot of people don't realize that side of it, and hopefully are realizing it now, is, you guys are trying to keep your prices fair and everything, but at the same time, you've got a bottom line to meet here, and the cost of beef is, 10 to 20 times higher than it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago. That's a problem for you guys in the numbers, and that's where I'm sure that experience, like I said, with Cattle Baron, it's kind of meeting those numbers. But I'm guessing when you got here, you're like, man, I had to really
focus.
Yeah, because I imagine there's just certain items that are just even, and there's still common things that you need every day that still, like, milk, eggs, things like that. I'm sure sometimes that got a little pricey and weird on, getting those things.
Right. Not only pricey, some stuff is just out of stock, and I actually have to make a trip to Sam's Club or something to go get stuff we need for the next day.
Try to go and go through other means to get those products. So very, but I'm fascinated by that kind of thing. But the whole point is I want to get people to see that you're busting your hump and providing a delicious meal for folks. Come check it out. Come give it a try. Come bring your family in. Come. It's a family friendly, fun. It's Church on the Move. It's all about love and God, and so and delicious eats. So I got to ask. I'm going to go back again. You're talking about the jelly, the jam thing, but what's probably the biggest ticket item that most people ask for? What's kind of the most popular item you think on your menu?
Well, I pulled a product mix the other day to kind of look from last month, and the sweet and spicy, we sold 137.
Okay.
Which is a burger, and then compared to the fried avocado burger, we sold 139, and those are just right there.
So but either way, they're all kind of a sweet heat mode. So people seem to want that more in their burgers, at least around here. Interesting. So I'm kind of curious, is there any concoctions in the future, any other things you're experimenting with, or any, I don't know if it's a new burger or a new dish or something that you're kind of like, I'm thinking about maybe making this as a menu item. I know you don't want to give out too much, but is there any certain ones you're kind of like, I want to play with that area?
Not as far as making it a menu item yet, but we do features at least once a week. We try to.
Okay.
We're about to add red chili to the menu because we have smothered green chili, but we're gonna add red chili. It's been very, very requested by a lot of people.
Sure.
But I was thinking about doing a garlic parmesan burger. I won't go into detail about that, but that should be coming up soon.
I kind of like where you're going with that.
It's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
And
very good.
there's the sky's the limit. We can come up. Me and my wife, we can come up with a lot of different stuff.
Good deal.
Either on the fly or even.
And of course, the great thing about it, like you said, you offer sandwiches, soups, things. So if you're kind of, trying to be health conscious on some things, you guys have great fares that are, your lower carb, lower things for folks that are trying to do that. And then you got, and then if you want to indulge, which that's me, then you get to try, some of the more fried avocado burgers and some of the things that probably your doctor will get you a little mad at, but everyone else wants to love and have. But that's the beauty of food. Is to take these things and create and see what you can do and push envelopes. And were you like that as a kid? Like, were you one of those ones in the kitchen as a kid making weird sandwiches and things because that's what was laying around in the house? Like,
Not really.
my
No.
brother was one of those people. Like, he'd just make a sandwich, and part of it because might be we were poor and stuff, but like he'd go to get a sandwich and he'd be in the house like, okay, there's bologna, I'll take that. There's some mustard, and like he'll literally make a sandwich that's got peanut butter, jelly, it's just whatever condiments
Just to
are
check
in
it
it.
out, huh?
And sometimes they weren't half bad.
Right.
Sometimes you want to chuck them out the window.
Right.
But I didn't know if you had that as a kid as a bug. You always want to
Nah,
make stuff.
not really. I just once I started at Caliburn when I was 15, and then I just kind of grew to
Fell in love there.
like it. Yeah.
Good deal. So, is there a not one on your menu or anything? Is there like a dish that you've been trying to make or prepare that you just been trying to get right for years that you can't get right? Like what I mean, is there like a one of those menus you're just like, I wish I could figure out how to get that perfect that you've been trying to get and can't and haven't done yet?
Not necessarily. I mean,
Okay.
everything that I've ever tried, it either
Okay.
take a couple tries to get it,
Sure.
or, and then it kind of worked out. So
Sure.
I don't know if I'm just blessed in that area or God gave me a great gift. So.
Sure. What do you have a favorite type of cuisine or favorite? Is it burgers and stuff, or do you like to venture into Mexican or Italian or some of the other?
I like burgers. I can make a pretty good chicken Alfredo.
Okay.
But I mean, everyone loves Mexican food too. So
Sure.
it's hard to say.
Yeah, you can't grow up in New Mexico or in Roswell and,
Right.
and not have a love for Mexican food.
Absolutely. So I don't have a favorite. No, I just all around here and there.
Okay. Very cool. Through DoorDash, like you said, or what's the hours for? It's 7 to 3 Monday through Friday at the Valley Cafe. And if you're not sure, it's right on the Church on the Move campus there on Brasher. What's the actual address number? Do you know off the top of your
It's
head?
901.
901 Brasher, and it's right across the street from the actual church there, the old
Yeah.
180 Youth Building.
Yeah, it's the orange and black building.
Yeah,
Can't
come
miss
on
it.
in, pull on up, and anytime between 7 and 2, get for first timer. Let's do breakfast and lunch. First time breakfast, what would you recommend they try the first thing out of your breakfast menu?
We would go with the Breakwich. It's basically just a sausage, bacon, egg, cheese sandwich.
Okay.
But what really kicks it off is I make my own maple Dijon sauce.
Ooh.
And it's really good with it.
Nice. I could see that pairing well. Any sausage tastes great with maple.
Mm-hmm.
That's like it's right there with peanut butter and chocolate. You know what I mean? Of those pairings.
Yeah.
I think maple and sausage are one of those that hits that. So I'm down.
Absolutely.
All right, for the lunch fare, what would you recommend as a first time try for the lunch fare?
I would go with the sweet and spicy burger for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Excellent. So there, menu set up, and we got you covered here. Of course, he said I'm anxious to try the soup here. Let's do that on the air. Let's do that.
Okay.
I want to try, but you might hand me the bag here. I can't wait. I've been holding out here. You don't mind, do you? I don't know
go
if you
ahead.
have I didn't know if somebody's like, I don't want you watching eat my food here, but
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
I ain't gonna lie. I've been excited to try this cordon bleu soup here.
I hope
And,
it's still hot enough. It should be.
it feels warm. Yeah, it feels warm here. Smells good. I'm kind of getting oh yeah.
Yeah, basically it's, you got your chicken and ham. Yeah. It's a cream-based soup. We add a little Dijon.
Here, I'll try to get it on camera here for those that can kind of see. It's kind of hard to tell from this
Yeah.
angle here, but it looks good. It smells good. I'm going to try to get a ham, everything in there. That's really good.
Has potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
You get that kick of the Dijon. And then the ham, of course.
I love it because it's creamy and it's rich, but not too rich. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you get rich ingredients and it overpowers it. This is that right perfect. Like sometimes like you get something that's so rich that you can only eat a little bit of it. Your
Yeah.
stomach's half. This is not. This is like that perfect balance of that. This is really good.
We actually usually sell it. I forgot the croutons, but we usually top it off with a little bit of croutons.
I
Give
don't
it
need
that
that.
crunch.
The meat and potatoes is good enough
Perfect.
for me. I'm not going to finish on air because that would be rude. But
That's all right.
I'm going to try those. Man, that's really good.
Yeah, and those burritos are our loaded burritos. Bacon, sausage, egg, potato, cheese, and they are always that size.
By the way, I'm
you
going to
wanna-
bring one. I'm not going to open it and eat it, but just to give you, this is the burrito size. All right, it's covering my head.
Yeah.
Pretty much in the picture here. It is a huge burrito. So if you walk away and you're hungry after this, you have a bottomless pit for a stomach.
Right? I'm almost to the point where we need to start selling 2 salsas for each burrito instead of 1 because I just don't think there's enough salsa for.
I would imagine you got about 50% of the population can't finish that. Like they get it and they take it home, or they, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
save it for later, just because it's a big burrito. Look, I love that. That looks good. If it's half as good as that soup, it's gonna make really good. Man, Now I got a problem. Like, do I want to come for breakfast or lunch? And I wonder if you can you do you full menu all day?
All
or is
day.
it- excellent.
Yeah.
So if I come a little later, I could actually get soup and a burrito. I don't know how I'm going to eat all that, but I'm going to try.
That'll work. Yeah. We have a kids burrito. It's a little smaller.
Okay, so if you have a small appetite, maybe go with the kids burrito
Yeah.
there too. And of course, but check out the menu for yourself. You do have a Facebook page, right? The Valley
Yeah,
Cafe.
Valley Cafe.
Follow and like there. That way you can, whenever there's like maybe a special deal or a new menu item, a limited time menu item, that way you're kind of staying up to date. So when Anthony comes out and says, you know what, I'm going to come out with this burger today, come on by and give it a try. And that way you're in on all of that stuff. So. And that's what I imagine. That's kind of the cool part of being at the Valley Cafe too. Is you've got your menu and people want certain things, but you being the chef and it's your show, when you decide, you're like, you know what? I always wanted to try. I don't know, making a pasta dish or something. Let's make a pasta dish and see how that and like you said, like you're online and the sandwich you're talking about with the sweet. And the jalapeno, the jelly
jam.
with the ham, and the jamwich. That's what it's called.
Jamwich, right.
Yeah, the jamwich. That's a perfect example of that. Like you said, you put it online just to see, and now it got really popular, and now it's a regular part of the menu. Maybe you get online and stay up to date, and you're like, oh man, he came with this new pasta or this new whatever sandwich, and that should be a part of the menu. And so that way you can stay up to date on all that. And it
Yeah.
sounds like it's a good place where you get to try all that and just. Kind of their customers dictate, what you do, on some. I mean, you have your standard fares and everything else,
Yeah.
but you go where the customer, when they're requesting, like you said, you're adding red chili to that now to the menu. That's all due to customers wanting that, they're hearing that kind of stuff. So now you're at that point where you're getting feedback and are able to tweak your menu to do that. What we haven't talked is desserts.
Oh yeah.
You
Desserts.
do desserts too.
Yeah, we have I think 4. We have cheesecake. We actually order that in. We don't make that one.
Okay.
But we make the brownies,
Okay.
and we make the special one is the orange creamsicle pie.
Yeah.
Everyone loves that one.
Yeah. That's probably a memory in food. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's real light and fluffy. It's so good. And then we do a fried ice cream as well.
Can't go wrong with fried ice cream. What flavor ice cream is it?
Just vanilla, and
Okay.
we roll it in like a cinnamon toast crunch.
Oh, nice. So it's got a little cinnamon
Yeah.
crunch to it. Nice. I saw a commercial. They got a graham cracker cinnamon toast crunch version now. I wonder,
Wow.
or you ever try different, like, when they do offshoots of cereals and try those
Right.
kind of things? That might be kind of interesting.
Sometimes they're too sweet, but
Yeah. But graham cracker might not be too bad.
Nah,
I'm not
might be
sure.
good.
It might be dangerous getting into chocolate territory, but
Right.
But that might work. It's kind of more of the same, just a little different taste to it. Is there anything we wanted to share? Anything that we wanted to talk about that, or any dishes we want to cover that we just didn't get a chance to cover?
I don't know. I know just last week on DoorDash we got most reliable, most loved restaurant.
Nice.
That was that was
Congratulations.
pretty big. So
Excellent.
praise God on that one. So people are. Well, I guess once you open up DoorDash now, you'll see us instead of having to search.
Oh, I got you. You're
you
kind
get-
of more of their featured
You get
items.
you get perks from that.
That's
stuff
good.
like
Good
that.
for you guys, man. That's great. I got a feeling you guys are you're turning it up, man. I think I can honestly see the Valley Cafe is going to be a Roswell staple,
Right.
and just there's always certain restaurants in the town, and people always say, "Where do you go to eat?" And the locals like, "Yeah, go to this." I think Valley Cafe is going soon to become one of those regular staples in everybody's list of places to go check
No
out.
doubt. We have a great team.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom works with me. She does a great job. And my wife, and then a couple other people are there as well.
Yeah, and it's great to see that. And of course, you're right there by the church, so especially if you got your church meetings, things, or got business at that end of town, go swing by, go check it out. Come in, have a breakfast, have a lunch, have a brunch, whatever time you roll in through there, and give it a try. And I guarantee that soup is delightful. Thank you very much for that. I'm sure
No
those
problem.
burritos I'm going to dig in a little bit
Yeah.
are going to be just as tasty.
You got breakfast and lunch there in one burrito.
I know my wife's gonna be jealous. She's gonna be like, "What do you want to do for dinner?" I was like, "I'm good.
Yeah, I
I've
got
been
a
eating all day."
That's funny.
Anything else we want to mention? Did we get it all?
I think so.
All right.
I'll probably remember after I leave, but I think
That's-
we covered enough.
Yeah, that's usually how it works. Again, come check out the Valley Cafe. Check it out for breakfast, lunch. They're open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And they're on Brasher, 901 Brasher, right at Church on the Move. There in the 180 building, right across the street from the main church facility there on the other side of Brasher.
Mm-hmm.
You can't miss it. It's right in front of it there. Follow your nose. That'll get you there.
Basically. And we do have an online menu too if you want to do it online.
Order online. Is it valleycafe.com or what's
It's
the website?
you can find us on if you go to Facebook, you can find it, but if you can remember toasttab.com/the Valley Cafe.
Okay. And if you don't remember that, find Valley Cafe on Facebook. You'll find a
yeah.
link to order there.
Yeah, there's
that
a
way you
menu.
can order online and then come by, pick it up if you're on the run or need it quick kind of thing.
Yeah,
in that
you
way.
can set up future orders as well. So the night before, if you're like, hey, I want some soup in the morning.
Oh,
You
nice.
can order it and then we'll
I
have
like
it
that
ready in the
move.
morning.
That's a great move because I need to think. Yeah, that's a great because how many times do you think in the night before you're like, oh yeah, I haven't been to Valley Cafe in a while. I'm gonna need to grab. And then your life happens and you forget. And it's like then you remember the rest of that day. Oh, I was supposed to get Valley Cafe today. Now you can. All right, I want Valley Cafe tomorrow. You go in and say,
Right.
set me up for some cordon bleu soup and a sweet burger here, and boom, and your avocado
then
fried
you,
avocado.
yeah,
burger.
then you wake up in the morning, you already paid for it, so you have to go get it.
Yeah, now you got it. Now you remember because you get reminders. Don't forget to get your food.
Right.
That's awesome. So use technology or go the old-fashioned way. Whatever it was, Valley Cafe's got you here. Come on by, and I guarantee when you walk out of there, you're going to be happy and just like, man, what a great place. And I think once you go there, you're like, we just found a new place to go get some lunch and breakfast once in a while here. At any point down the road, do you want to start doing dinner, or is that something
We've talked
long
about
term?
it. Yeah, we have a long-term goal, so
Okay.
yeah, we're not going anywhere. So.
Just curious, just putting you on the spot. What would be one of your signature dinner items if you were going to put a dinner menu?
Oh man, I
If you had
haven't
to
even
pick
thought about that. We'd probably go steaks or something like that. But as far as a signature, I don't know. Kind of hard to say to be put on the spot like that.
Yeah, I mean, would you want to be more upscaley, or do you want to keep it like in the burger vein, or do you want?
I don't know. Either way, actually, I mean, I like kind of the atmosphere of the burger. It's kind
Sure.
of you're in there, you can have a
Sure,
really good time.
that's just fun.
But
Well,
if
you can
go-
still do fine dining in that same atmosphere. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
We live in a world now where you can sit down and eat a higher ticket seafood or steak dinner or something and be in a very, informal, just good family atmosphere setting. It doesn't have to be stodgy and starchy and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you go to steakhouse and everyone's like, well, you need a coat, sir, and
Yeah.
all that. And you're like, no, I just want steak, man.
valet parking. And,
Yeah. But I think we can do that now. You can go in and get meals of that level, but not have to get all stuffy and dressed up and pay $300 sticker price that they charge for those kind of
Absolutely.
things too. So
Well,
Very
I don't know. I have a great creamy bruschetta sauce that I make, so that'll definitely be on the menu.
Nice.
I like making sauces.
Okay.
So
that's kind of your or thing you enjoy most.
Yeah.
Because really, I think because that can change every dish. Like you can take a dish and like let's just say we'll take beef. You take a hunk of beef, cook it up, and put different sauces and make it into a completely different meal.
Yeah.
It's the same piece of meat with different sauces and everything can be a whole different meal.
yeah, change the
altogether.
flavor altogether.
Yeah, absolutely. So one day you want to go creamy, maybe another day you want to do a little more heat or sweet or whatever it is. It's or more that Asian kind of zing, whatever it is. Whatever direction the sauce can take you there. So I could get that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm sure you got to get back in about 20 things to prep here and get. You got a lunch rush coming here.
Yeah.
So
I better get back.
So I
It's
better
just my
get
mom
back.
and wife over there right now. So I
Yeah,
hope they're all right.
so they're like, tell Anthony to shut his mouth, get over here and work. Thank you very much. Thank you for the
Thank
food.
you for having me.
And I'll see you next week. Next week after my colonoscopy. I'm gonna come in. So you see a guy limping in wanting a cheeseburger. That'll be me.
Sounds good.
Thanks,
All right.
Anthony.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you.
you.
Appreciate it.